Keeley Jones went from being one of the best characters on Ted Lasso to one of the most forgettable in Season 3, and if the rumors about Season 4 are true, I'm going to be annoyed if Keeley doesn't get a better script in the next go-around. The pilot of Ted Lasso introduced a slew of characters so quickly that I had trouble keeping their names straight, a smart move by the showrunners to make us empathize with Ted, Jason Sudeikis, who had just arrived in a new country and whose head was spinning even more than mine. One character I did not have trouble forgetting was Keeley Jones, and not just because she was played by Juno Temple, who I remember first seeing in The Dark Knight Rises trying to steal a watch from an intoxicated bro. Keeley is a sweet, smart, entrepreneurial character, and the way she immediately took to Ted the same way that I took to him let me know she was going to be a character to pay attention to. And she was. Until halfway through Season 3, when I got sick of what the show was doing with her. Jack and Keeley's relationship in Ted Lasso was toxic. Keeley had grown past a character like Jack. Keeley, Juno Temple, and Jack, Jodie Balfour, smiling and looking at something off-screen in Ted Lasso Season 3 Episode 9. The trouble started with her relationship with Jack Danvers, Jodie Balfour. When Jack arrived in Season 3 as the head of the venture capitalist firm that funded Keeley's PR firm, I got really excited to meet this new, cool interloper into the AFC Richmond world. The fact everyone assumed she was a man based on her name only made her introduction that much more funny. Far from being a controlling boss intent on changing the ways Keeley ran her firm, Jack turned out to be a strong advocate for Keeley's vision. Their mutual admiration and ability to work together eventually grew into a romance. One that Keeley was initially wary of considering their boss-employee relationship, but Jack hand-waved her concerns away. It's something I didn't totally gel with when I first heard it but came to accept it just as a function of TV storytelling. They have to get together, don't they? Eventually, a leak scandal occurred and Keeley's sensitive videos and pictures were published on the internet. When Jack asked her to post an apology, Keeley refused. She wasn't the one to leak them and, frankly, she wasn't ashamed. As it turned out, Jack was, and her wish for a professional apology was also a way to force Keeley to apologize personally. Naturally, they didn't last long after that, thus ending a frustrating couple of episodes for Keeley. When most same-sex relationships on television are depicted within a narrow dimension, often perfect and happy, it was admittedly nice to see one that mirrored the many dysfunctional heterosexual relationships that make up most television shows. What bothered me was how Jack treated Keeley. Jack doted on her, giving her gifts and experiences with her vast wealth, and watching Keeley get wrapped up in the relationship, particularly after experiencing so much growth with Roy, Brett Goldstein, and Jamie, Phil Dunster, was kind of painful. Even Rebecca, Hannah Waddingham, compared it to the difficult relationship she had with her ex-husband. Well, if you thought it was that toxic, Rebecca, why didn't you say something? Would have saved us all a lot of trouble. Keeley should have made a definitive romantic choice at the end of Ted Lasso Season 3. Keeley's indecision reflected her character's lack of agency. Just when I thought we had gotten Keeley out of the claws of a draining "when will she choose" story, she gets thrown back into one almost immediately. I've always enjoyed the love triangle dynamic between Keeley, Roy, and Jamie. One of the best episodes of Ted Lasso features their singular dynamic, but at some point, I really just need someone to make a decision here. I know they're all great-looking, hyper-talented people, and deciding who should date who might not be so easy, but a little more resolve in the situation would have been nice. I, like many fans, would have in my heart of hearts preferred her to end up with Roy, who she always had chemistry with, but Jamie is a great guy too. In a progressively-minded show that didn't have a single character raise an eyebrow about Jack and Keeley's relationship, maybe the trio could have tried out something a little more polyamorous, maybe an E&M relationship, a rarely explored relationship type in movies or TV. Keeley needed to make a choice, and she just didn't. The end of Ted Lasso Season 3 shows the three as friends, but doesn't reveal what decision they all came to as far as relationships go. For most of Season 3, Keeley went from being a character with her own will and agency, to one who is simply reacting to what others are saying and doing to her. For my money, she should have decided not to be with Jamie or Roy. Why does she only get two choices, and why does it have to happen then?